Alright, so today we're going to be talking about what if you were in the zombie apocalypse, and what would you do if you somehow managed to survive the initial chaos and whatever else. I think there's one other clarifying thing we need to point out in this scenario, is that in every story or anything that deals with the zombie apocalypse, the military is surprisingly ineffective at being able to do anything. And this is probably the biggest. This is the biggest misconception with the zombie apocalypse. So we're also going to have to state that in a world where the military was ineffective and you are stuck inside the zombie apocalypse, what would you actually do?
Are you saying that the military is not effective?
Just basically in every general story, book, movie, game, is it like the military just seems to be non-existent? Like it's just like.
Just say that's where it started. So all the military turned into zombies first.
That still wouldn't even be accurate to reality if that happened though. Like the amount of precautions and stuff that military have in place, like, is insane. As in, they would not let an outbreak. They have all the armaments and they have fucking all the training and they have everything. I mean, if anyone can survive the zombie apocalypse, it would be a squad of soldiers. It would not be like, the random person off the street who picked up a sword.
Well, maybe. I mean. All
right. Well,
maybe,
what would you do?
What
would you do? What would you do?
Well, we don't have any guns, so I mean.
We're assuming we're not in America. We're living in Australia. Yeah.
America. Yeah. Probably some sort of big sharp weapon to give me reach for sure. As I don't obviously gather all my family, friends, or whatever, and basically like hole up somewhere, and maybe try to go underground.
Okay, so underground's the goal.
Sewers or something, because that seems a lot safer.
Yeah. Anything else to add?
Well, that's
the general plan.
That's the general plan.
That's the general plan. Okay,
Whole lot, basically.
So what would try and get food. Yeah. So what would you be doing in this general scenario?
I don't know. I feel like I have quite a every man for themselves kind of thing going on. So I'm kind of thinking like the moment it happens. My vague plan is I always assume I'd be at uni when it happens. So in the middle of the city, not ideal. Right. I'd get high ground. I'd just climb as high as I could.
Oh, but then
it's over, Anakin. Though. I have the high ground.
True, but
yeah, so you're stuck on the building's surrounded by zombies and stuff.
Yeah, get high ground and then wait it out until they move elsewhere because everyone in the city's a zombie.
Oh, but they can smell you.
Oh shit.
Okay, so now we have to clarify what the zombies are.
But like
I think in the general sense, zombies don't use sight because obviously they're like decomposed. Like eyes are probably the first things to go. I think they generally use sound and smell. I think in most scenarios, zombies tend to use that.
Yeah.
To find you. So I think I've seen like in The Walking Dead. I don't know about the TV show, but I think either in the book or in the game, you can cover yourself in like the zombies' guts and shit.
Blood and shit.
And you can hide your scent from them and literally walk.
Wasn't that in like COD zombies or something?
I don't know.
Who
knows?
Don't think so.
Too many CODs.
CODs.
Who knows? But yeah, I don't know about that though. Wouldn't it be like really difficult to hide your scent?
Yeah.
I mean like.
Yeah. I don't know how realistic it would be, but
it would be underground.
I probably wouldn't even risk it. Like I would never even risk that tactic. Walking through a horde of zombies like covered in their fucking.
But
flesh,
then again, human smell sensors are not even that good. So if
actually they are. They actually are.
Are they?
They are. They
are.
But they are almost as good as a dog.
It's just we don't rely on them because we see.
Yes. Yeah. We don't rely on our sense of smell.
The zombie thing just kind of boosts their primal senses.
I guess, along with their strength and everything else, apparently.
Okay.
All right. So I think I think about it too much. So I'd probably end up getting killed before I do anything. Right, so there's two options you have. Either you're the kind of person that can adapt and live in the new world, or you're the person that can't. Once you decide which one you are, you either go and die in what quick and ever way fashion that you can. Or if you decide that you actually do want to live in the new world, then you have two more choices. And both of them have pros and cons. Either you stay in a group, because then you can sleep safely at night while someone watches your back. Obviously, you can take care of each other and protect each other and things like that. Right, so those are the pros.
Group is definitely the way to go, I think. Right?
So Joe-Man's definitely figured group is the way to go.
I think so.
The problem with being in a group is obviously food supplies and everything of the sort. You have to deal with everyone else. Whereas when you're living by yourself or you're surviving by yourself, obviously food only has to be worried about you. You only have to worry about the sound of your own footsteps.
Yep.
And the other thing is once you've actually learnt to deal with surviving in the zombie world, if you somehow manage to get that far, you'll learn to realize that then people are far more dangerous than the zombies. Mm-hmm. You see, the zombies are slow, predictable, and they only have one intent. They want to eat your brains or your flesh or whatever. They literally only have one goal in mind, and they're only a danger when they are in a group, right? Sure. Whereas people, they try to be your friend first.
You're not going to try to just find some strangers to group up with.
Of course, you're going to protect your friends and family.
Yeah, exactly. So you group up with them.
So
Yeah.
those are your choices. But yeah, obviously, as you run low on food, you will have to migrate, and you will eventually come across other people that you either decide to save or not save. And then having to trust people and all that sort of stuff is issues that you have to deal with, whereas living by yourself is the most efficient way to live if you are capable of taking care of yourself. The only trouble is you can never sleep safely at night unless you find a location that is absolutely safe.
Yeah.
Now, knowing these two things, I don't know if I could live by myself. I know I would want to, and I know it's the most efficient way, and I think I would be even capable of doing that as much as from a theoretical...
I mean...
I would see it as you being the sole benefactor. If you were capable of surviving, yes, easily more efficient, hands down.
I think, you know how you're saying, okay, you can't trust people, right? But I reckon, like, contrary to all the movies, that some sort of system of government or kind of thing, like post-apocalypse, will still form, even if all the high top people, like,
True.
currently...
Oh, it
True.
certainly would, but it depends who it is that ends up in that power, and some people won't
Sure,
like it.
but there will still be rules,
Well, even-
right? So
You even have to consider a psychological disposition. I mean, people might even go fucking insane in this kind of world.
And what kind of people survive as well? Like,
That's
imagine-
true, yeah. The ones who are willing to make the most sacrifices
Yeah.
and things like that. So I think, even though I know that I would prefer to stay by myself, I know I would probably end up trying to help people and probably die in some stupid, pointless way. I know that's probably the way that I'm going to go, and it's probably going to be early too. I probably won't even get out of the initial panic and chaos.
Man.
I mean, I don't need to reference another one of my dreams to know how those fucking end.
So basically, Becky climbs a building and just dies instantly. I mean,
Or at least waits.
I never
waits.
said I'd get past the initial wave.
and then Michael, you're like, I'll save you, and die horribly as well.
Yeah. I'll climb the fucking skyscraper
German
or
becomes
whatever.
president of the new world.
Yeah. I was like, let's go to the sewers. And boom.
Yeah.
Everyone
New
gets
order.
gastro and dies.
Oh,
So
okay.
that-
Everyone's there.
Disease and famine and everything else.
No, I like to think of myself as like that character that, like, in zombie apocalypse movies, they've been on their own for ages, and then they meet the group and they like help them out heaps, and then eventually they like trust them, and then they do this big epic self-sacrificing thing.
Yeah, that's pretty
Some
much.
point in like the middle of the movie.
Yeah, that pretty much sounds like
That's
you, yeah.
me.
I'm the guy that probably will try and avoid people at all costs, but when it comes to friends, family, and everything else, I wouldn't be able to abandon them
Oh yeah,
for
same.
anything else.
If I was somewhere on my own, I'd be like, fuck everyone. I'm
Oh yeah,
looking after
I'll be
myself.
like, the odds of
If
any of
I-
them living like is gone. Now it's just
Yeah.
me now. So
if
then,
I was
yeah.
like at home, I'd be like, I'm getting my brother and my parents out of here, like I'm helping them kind of thing. And I'd probably be the first to die because I'd be the one that'd be like get
Yeah.
out of the way.
I like to think that I'd be as heroic, but who knows? When
knows?
push comes to shove, who knows what the fuck would really happen? I mean, I don't know.
Yep.
But
I reckon I'll try to find some scientists to try to cure the...
if you even think it's curable, you need to figure out how it
Could be.
started in the first place. I mean, that's the mystery to be solved. That's a lot of migrating and mystery solving and stuff.
Sounds exactly like The Strain, the show. Have you guys seen it?
No,
Good show.
good show.
Good show.
You always bring up the good shows, don't you?
And basically, like, they're like kind of like zombies, except you get infected by like little worms.
Oh,
They just
okay.
like crawl in your skin and stuff.
Oh, okay. So I do like the creativity when it comes to how it all begins and stuff.
Yeah.
I think The Walking Dead, I mean, not the TV show, I think the book and the game that follows more along the lines of the book is definitely my favourite structure of how the world exists in the apocalypse and how they deal with it, how the virus spreads and everything else. I definitely prefer that more than most other ones that I've seen. I mean, I played a couple of games that have some pretty good ones as well. Some of them don't even go that in depth.
The Last of Us.
The Last of
That's
Us.
a good one.
Good
Josh
one.
loves that one.
You both played it?
No, I watched him play it though.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I borrowed the PS3 just to play Last of Us.
Yeah. Josh was going to lend me his PS3
Yeah.
to play. He said it was that fucking good. But I think the best game I probably played for a zombie apocalypse was probably Dying Light. You know that
Dying
one?
Light.
It has like parkour mechanics and stuff. You know, it was like the story is basically you're dropping into I don't know if it's not a third world country, but like, you're dropping into another country and you're supposed to try and find the guy who's running things and has all the blueprints to the virus and shit, and you got to get it out of there. But like as soon as you land, you immediately get fucked up and whatever else, and now you're dependent on like the thing that holds you off from actually turning into a zombie, like the medicine and shit. And yeah, you basically like run around with weapons that are basically shit, and you have to like really like smash the zombies in to kill them and stuff. It felt the most realistic of zombie apocalyptic sort of games that I've played.
DayZ.
Let's not go into DayZ. No. But after you started getting overpowered weapons and the grappling hook, the realisticness sort of just dies off completely. But I enjoyed it all the way up until then.
You know what a great game is?
What's that?
Metro Last Light.
Is that the Fallout one?
Uh,
Is that the Fallout game?
no, it's like the Russian
Oh,
post-apocalyptic.
yeah. I remember seeing
And
sort
like,
of, yeah.
I think it's used for a lot of like benchmarking and stuff.
It's like more monsters and stuff rather than the zombies, isn't it?
I think it's just like post-apocalyptic. People get turned into like things.
Things, yeah.
Yeah. Good game.
And society breaks down.
That's one of the few games I've finished. I'm really bad at finishing games.
Yeah, especially these days. I mean, like,
They're so long.
I mean, I tried Mass Effect Andromeda. I failed. Trying to get through it. I was like 30 hours in.
I think because the gameplay itself becomes repetitive, and then
Yeah.
you just sort of, unless you're just hooked by the story, you're just not going to have that interest anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to the zombie apocalypse.
Well, I think we basically we sorted it all out. As in, we're both dead, and you're probably running the new world. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
And then I'll die of gastro or something.
Yeah,
So.
that was pretty much the end. Happy ending for all of us, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Alright. Thanks for listening to another episode then.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, folks. See you next time.